I wanted to come on here to give you a practice problem of an hour-long treatment of albuterol and ipratropium bromide, also called Atrovent, and an hour-long treatment. So, of course, the doctor ordered some odd milligrams. We need to find out how many milliliters of albuterol and ipratropium bromide, also known as Atrovent. And of course, we need to figure out how much normal saline solution is in that hour-long nebulizer. Remember, albuterol is a 2.5 milligram to 0.5 milliliter solution, and ipratropium bromide, Atrovent, is a 0.5 milligram to a 2.5 milliliter ampules. So only comes in that one ampule. There may be many other dosages, but this in particular, we're talking about that one ampule. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is remember that albuterol is a 2.5 milligrams over 0.5 milliliters. And of course, we're going to solve for the unknown. And that means that we're going to plug in what we know. So the doctor ordered 10 milligrams of albuterol. How many milliliters do we need, or do we have? So you want to cross multiply. When you cross multiply 5 milliliters, remember you don't have to worry about the metrics here, times 10 milligrams, and that's going to yield you 5. All right, then we're going to cross multiply 2.5 milligrams to the unknown, and that's just basically going to give you the 2.5 anyway. Now that we have that, we're going to divide 5 divided by 2.5, and that's going to yield you 2. So 2 milliliters. Remember, you can go back and you can plug in to check to make sure that that is correct. So if you divide 10 to 2, that's going to give you 5. And if you divide 2.5 to 0.5, that's going to give you 5 as well. Okay. So 5, that's going to give you 5. And that's going to give you 5. Just to make sure that you're on the right track, you just want to double check that each of the equation is balanced. All right, so now that we have that, we have our 2 milliliters, and this is 2 milliliters of albuterol. Nice. Now we're going to go to ipratropium bromide. So ipratropium bromide, remember, we have those 2 ampules. So 2 ampules. 2 ampules of ipratropium bromide. So the easiest way to do this is we know that 0.5 milligrams is equal to 2.5 milliliters. The best way to really do this is just to times each side by 2, really. You can also let me go back here. You can also add this, so plus, and it's going to give you that milligrams, and then 2.5 milliliters. It's they're both going to equal to 1, and then 1 milligram to 5 milliliters. Okay, so you can do it either way on this one. This one is kind of like fairly easy and simple. So milliliters. Okay, so you basically got that 1 milligram to 5 milliliters. So now we have our 5 milliliters. So I'll go back here. Remember, you can always practice this as we go along. You can watch this over and over again and over and over again. Okay, so let's take now we're going to take our 5 milliliters of ipratropium bromide, as we see right here. And then we're going to get our 2 milliliters of albuterol. Remember, this is an hour-long treatment, so we're going to put this all together. So that's going to yield you 7 milliliters of both drugs. Okay, so both drugs of ipratropium bromide and albuterol. But we need to know how much saline solution is in this 30 milliliters of hour-long treatment. So the next thing you want to do is you know that this is a 30 milliliter hour-long neb. And all you have to do is minus the drugs, so the 7 milliliters of drugs. Okay, so remember, subtract 30 from 7, and that's going to yield you 23 milliliters of normal saline solution. So I hope that helps. Again, you can always practice. You can go back and forth. You can play this all over and over again. You can also look at the previous videos for practice. And remember, if you are unsure or if you're unfamiliar, you can always double check with a professional, maybe your colleague, just to double check that you are giving the right dosage to your patient, so that your patient can become well. All right, guys, until next time, see you later.